In today's fast-paced world, we're always told how to hustle, how to fight, and how to win. But there's a crucial skill nobody talks about: the power of staying silent when everything around you is falling apart. This isn't just a fisherman's journey out to sea, it's a reflection of what happens inside all of us when life doesn't go our way. In a small lakeside town in Montana, where the dawn mist clings to the cliffs, 28-year-old Jake was doing what he knew best. The only sound in the stillness was the gentle lap of waves against his boat. For Jake, this morning felt different. He had high hopes. He'd spent the entire night wide awake, braving the bone-chilling cold to cast his nets in the most remote corner of the lake. But life rarely sticks to the script. As Jake started pulling the net, he felt an unusual weight. His heart raced. He thought he'd finally hit the jackpot. Then, a sharp snap echoed across the water. The tension vanished. The net had snagged on a jagged rock and ripped wide open. Right before his eyes, hundreds of shimmering silver fish, the reward for his blood, sweat, and tears, slipped back into the deep. In that moment, something inside Jake snapped, too. What's our first instinct when we fail? Usually, it's to find someone, or something, to blame. Jake let out a scream that echoed across the empty lake. He grabbed his wooden oar and slammed it into the water over and over. Waves splashed everywhere, soaking his clothes and causing the boat to rock violently. He was furious at the torn net. He was furious at the hidden rock. He was even furious at the lake itself for betraying him. In reality, Jake is all of us. When a project fails, a relationship ends, or something just goes wrong on the way to work, we choose to beat the water. We think that screaming or acting out will somehow restore the balance. But look at Jake. He's exhausted, soaking wet, and his boat almost flipped because of his own aggression. The lake didn't care. It stayed exactly the same. The rock remained silent at the bottom. The only person getting hurt, and wasting energy, was the man holding the oar. Out of the thick mist, another boat slowly appeared. It was Elias, a man who had spent over 50 years on this water. He didn't say a word. He just watched as the young man desperately waged war against the lake. There's a famous American saying, "A ship doesn't sink because of the water around it. It sinks because of the water that gets inside." Elias understood this better than anyone. He knew the lost fish wasn't Jake's biggest problem. The real danger was the water, the anger and loss of control, seeping into Jake's soul, threatening to drown him from the within. Elias handed Jake a long wooden pole and gestured toward the water. "Do it again," he said calmly. "Hit it harder this time." Still fuming, Jake swung the pole with everything he had. The impact cracked like a gunshot, and waves slammed against the hull. Elias just shook his head. He took the pole from Jake's hands and gently touched the tip to the surface. It created tiny, perfect circles that rippled outward until they simply faded away. Within seconds, the lake was a mirror again, perfectly still. Elias looked Jake straight in the eye and said something that changed him forever. "When you fight the water with anger, you don't just disturb the lake, you disturb yourself." Losing those fish was bad luck. But losing your cool, that was a bad choice. This is the payoff. In life, torn nets are going to happen. They're inevitable. But while the setback is out of your hands, your reaction is entirely up to you. If you respond with chaos, you create chaos. When the water is churning, you can't see the bottom, and you definitely can't see new opportunities. It's only when the surface is still that you can see your own reflection and figure out how to fix the net. Real strength isn't measured by how hard you hit or how loud you yell. It's measured by your ability to stay silent and still while the storm is screaming outside. Jake let the pole slide from his hands. For the first time that morning, he took a deep breath. He could still feel the bite of the cold air, but the sting of fear was gone. He looked down at his hands. They had finally stopped shaking. Elias didn't wait around for a "thank you." He simply turned his boat and disappeared back into the mist, leaving behind a silent message. Life goes on, the lake remains, and the sun will rise again tomorrow. Jake sat down. He stopped looking at the spot where the fish had vanished. Instead, he reached for his net, found the tear, and started to mend it. Every knot, every stitch, was slow and deliberate. He wasn't just fixing a tool, he was healing his own mindset. He realized then, success isn't about never failing. It's about how you carry yourself when you do. We live in a world where being loud is often mistaken for being powerful. But the story of Jake and Elias reminds us of a different kind of strength, the power of silence. Whenever you hit a tear in your career, a betrayal in a relationship, or a financial setback, think back to that lake in Montana. Don't grab the oar and start beating the water. Don't add more chaos to a situation that's already messy. Just stop. Breathe. Watch the water until the ripples fade. Only then will you be clear-headed enough to know exactly where to start mending the net. Control the storm within you, or let it drown you. The choice is in your hands. If you saw yourself in Jake, if you've ever felt that frustration, that moment of losing control, then maybe this is your reminder to slow down and find your calm again. Don't let temporary failures define who you are. If this message spoke to you, subscribe and join us for more stories about inner strength, clarity, and growth. Stay calm, stay grounded, and don't miss the quiet beauty life is always offering.